What's up guys, Tech Savvy Buyer here. So today what I'm going to try and do is answer a question that a lot of you guys have been asking me over my videos in the last couple of months. And the question is pretty simple. Does it make sense to buy a PS4 Pro today or does it not? So I'll do my best to give you situations where I think it does absolutely make sense to purchase one and situations where it may not make sense to go ahead and pick one up. But before we do that, let's check out a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by scdkey.com. At scdkey.com, you can purchase authentic software as well as video games for a fraction of the price that you would in retail. Quit spending hundreds of dollars on buying a copy of Windows 10 off Amazon or Best Buy or other places when you can simply go to scdkey.com and pick it up for a fraction of the price. For less than $16, you can get an original authentic code for Windows 10 Pro and activate your license today. Purchasing this is super simple. All you have to do is make sure you have an account and signed in on scdkey.com and make sure you go ahead and put my code TSB18 during checkout to save extra from the retail price. Once you've done that, go ahead and submit your order and you can follow through the payment method that suits you. Again, scdkey.com, awesome website to purchase original copies of Windows 10 Pro or Home and even Office software solutions as well. Make sure you go ahead and visit scdkey.com for all your software needs. So you've been thinking about going out and buying a PlayStation 4 Pro. And you've probably been on the fence, you've probably binge watched a ton of different content on YouTube to figure out what it all can do. In the event that you didn't and you're still trying to figure out what are some of the cool things that you could do if you have a PlayStation 4 Pro, I will go ahead and link up a video that I've made in the past right up here where it will pretty much cover all the stuff that you can do with the PS4 Pro. So we're not going to do all that stuff. Today I'm not going to basically sell you guys on this. We're going to look at some situations that are pretty simple. So first I'm going to start off with situations where you should consider buying a PS4 Pro. Let's not address the elephant in the room that a PlayStation 5 or whatever Sony chooses to call their new system is around the holiday corner next year. So we still have about 480 days or so until the next PlayStation comes. Again, this is just pure speculation, so we don't actually know when it's going to come, but if I was a betting man, I would definitely think that holiday 2020 is going to be the launch time for it, considering that Xbox is going to come around that. Of course, that could be a topic for a whole other video, but today, let's focus on this. So I think the reason a lot of you guys have asked this question is because, you might be thinking, well, what if the new system comes out and all that kind of stuff? So let's take this into mind, right? We know that the PS4 Pro is going to last for another year to year and a half. At the minimum, you've got a full year where there's no competition or no new product from Sony that's coming out. We're in July 2019. We know holiday 2020 is probably the earliest bet that you're going to have, which puts us around the November-December timeframe, which means you've got a year plus 4 or 5 months, roughly 16 to 17 months, give or take. All depends. Sorry for the crazy math there, but basically the point is you've got this much time before you can worry about, where could I have spent my money a little bit better. And if you make a straightforward average, just depending if you were to go and buy a PlayStation 4 Pro today at $400 retail, if you're gonna go to Best Buy or online and just order it at full retail price, you've got $400 invested plus tax depending on what state you're in, and you've got a little over about 450 days or so to actually use it before you're concerned of another system coming out. That averages out to a little under $1 a day as an investment if you're going to pick up the system. Now, not to get carried away, I'm just trying to put some simple math in front of you guys so that you can basically make better use of your money if that's what you want to do. But let's focus on situations where I believe that if this was me, why I would pick up a PS4. So the very first situation that I would recommend is if you find it super cheap. A couple of you guys have been following my channel and you already know that I put out posts if I see a deal on either Google Express or if I see something on Newegg, Amazon, wherever I find a deal, I'm always linking it. And so far I've been able to find PlayStation 4 Pros down to as much as $315 brand new, coming with an extra game or something like that. So at $315, if you don't already own a PlayStation, you don't have a PS4, you don't have a Slim, you don't have anything to do with today's console generation, you're still running off of a PS3, or maybe you're an Xbox person, you don't have it. $315, you should absolutely consider purchasing it, because for that price, the overall cost before a new product that comes out from Sony is going to be less than $1 and significantly less than $1. Doing simple math, $300 spread over 480 days, somewhere around 60-70 cents. So of course I'm not using a calculator, but anyways, the point is it's going to be affordable. You're not going to be breaking the bank and doing that, and you're going to be able to use a product for a couple years. Now, it doesn't mean that once the PlayStation 5 or whatever Sony calls it actually comes out that this is void useless. The reason I'm trying to make that point is because Sony has hinted at making sure that their next generation of consoles are actually backwards compatible, and a lot of that is due to the pressure that they faced from Microsoft this generation around. Now that's basically going to mean that any game that you're buying for this, you can play on that system with potentially better graphics, better performance, all that kind of jazz. So it kind of makes it a waste to go ahead and spend money on this if you're planning to do that in the road. Now, situation number 2 is if you're a person that doesn't get up on the hype train and want to be an early adopter of a system. If you know that whenever PlayStation 5 comes out, you're not going to be looking into investing in that for at least 1 or 2 years, then yes, it makes sense to pick up a PS4 Pro because you want to have something that you want to play for the next couple of years, and the PlayStation 4 is probably arguably the best place that you can play some of the exclusives, or the Pro I mean, is the best that you can play those. Of course, you can tap into the VR features and all that other jazz. Again, if you guys want to figure out all that stuff, you can see another video. I've put it up in the description as well, so you can take a look at that. Now, the only other scenario where I think it makes sense to pick up a PlayStation 4 Pro is if you decide to trade in your current console to go ahead and get it. And essentially, it's kind of a piggyback of number 1. You're trying to lower that gap of amount of cash that you have to put in, albeit you will be putting up one of your own assets, be it an Xbox 360, or whatever system it is that you want to trade in. The overall point is, at this age in the PlayStation 4 Pro's life cycle, when we're coming towards the end of it, Sony has already revealed that there is going to be a successor to these consoles. It doesn't make sense to pay full retail price for a PlayStation 4 Pro. So in any situation you find yourself saving money on it, picking one up for super cheap, maybe getting one that's used, or maybe just trading in your current line of systems to go ahead and pick one, that's where it absolutely makes sense to go ahead and make the upgrade. Now, in situations where I wouldn't do the upgrade or I wouldn't bother wasting my money on it, well, one would be is if I have to pay full retail for it, if I don't have systems that'll get me those level of games. Number 2 is if I already have a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Slim and I don't want to trade that in, or I don't want to do anything with it, sell it or get rid of it, but I want to get better graphics and stuff like that. To be honest, guys, there is a difference between the PlayStation 4 Slim and the PlayStation 4 Pro. I will absolutely attest to that. There is a difference. Is it worth going and spending extra money when you already own a system? I don't really believe it is. Now, again, back to the previous point, if you want to trade it and sell it in and bridge the gap for the overall cost, then yes, it makes sense. Having 2 systems like you guys see here, at this point in their life cycle, it just doesn't make sense. The other way I wouldn't consider purchasing one is if I have an Xbox One X. If you already own a One X, you're already getting better performance than a PS4 Pro. Granted, you won't be able to play some of the first-party titles that you can on the Pro or the PlayStation ecosystem, such as God of War, such as Spider-Man, some of those titles that, you know, maybe are super eye-catchy and games that you've really wanted to play for a long time. I would recommend that you go and get a PlayStation 4 Slim that's used or another PS4 just to get it out of your system. Again, it really comes down to price. If you feel like you got a really good deal on a PlayStation 4 Pro, then absolutely, by all means, you guys should take advantage of that. There are a ton of different games on there that you can play that you won't find on other systems or that you won't get in other generations of systems as well. The graphics are great of the PS4 Pro, we know that, but it's starting to show its age ever so slightly as we inch closer and closer to the next generation of consoles. So by far the biggest reason why I would deter people from going and spending the full money on it is really just because you have a new generation of consoles that are coming out. We don't know how good the next Xbox Scarlet is going to be. We don't know how good the next PlayStation is going to be. So until it doesn't get released, until I don't get my hands on them to review them, give you guys some information regarding them, it's tough to recommend you to go one way over the other. But reading your comments every day, guys, and everyone's always asking, hey, does it make sense now to pick this up? It's kind of simple. You just got to think about it. If you've got a ton of money to play, then chances are, you wouldn't even be watching this video and trying to look for a decision. So I'm assuming that if you're watching this, money is important to you and you don't want to waste it on something that's not worth it. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If you did find this video helpful, definitely smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, do subscribe because it does help the channel grow. Again, I hope this was helpful. I hope I actually helped you guys make the decision that you need to pick up one of these systems, or basically the Pro, since that's what you guys are really interested in. And keep a lookout on my channel. Again, if you're not following me, do follow me, because I always put out different deals that you can get the PlayStations at, different prices and stuff, and usually they're like quick 12-hour, 24-hour, maybe 2 days. They're sales that don't really last long, and usually when you find a good deal on the PlayStation 4 Pro, it usually sells out. For reference, the reason I'm saying that is because last year, during Black Friday, I did a ton of research and tried everywhere I could to find one that was actually being discounted, and Sony didn't discount the Pro during Black Friday of 2018. We don't know what they're going to do this year. Hopefully they will discount it this year, but it's safe to assume that they may not, given what they've done the last 2 years. And if you find a better deal in between now and coming up Black Friday, go for it, guys. I will be sharing them as usual, so again, for the gazillion time, not to be repetitive, but make sure you're following my channel, that way you get all the latest updates on stuff like that. Anyways, guys, sorry for rambling on. I hope this was helpful for the 100th and gazillionth time, and if not, let me know in the comment section below what your situation is, where I may not have addressed in this video, and I'll do my best to go ahead and kind of guide you guys into that. And I'll see you guys on my next video, so take care and bye-bye.